Hello, Serge here from the Backyard Driving Range, bringing you another daily golf lesson. And we have a question today, and it comes from Andrew Papadopoulos. He's from Melbourne, Australia. Hello down under. And Andrew says, "Hi Serge, you have mentioned that the setup is the same for all clubs and that the hands should be directly under the chin. To me, that implies that the ball position is therefore in the middle of your stance, but we know this is not always the case. For example, in the case of a driver, the ball is usually inside the left heel, so how then are our hands supposed to be directly below the chin? Can you please go over this in one of your daily videos?" Well, as the old TV show used to say, you asked for it, so here it is. And Andrew, I think the key is that we have to look at what I mean by under the chin. All right? Now, if I'm standing here from this view, and I say that when I put the club down, whatever club I use, and let me go ahead and get a driver out here, and I got a 7-iron in my hand, I got a pitching wedge, and I'm going to use also a 4-iron all the way up to the driver. All right, so let's start with the pitching wedge. All right, I'm going to stand over here, I'm going to walk into this golf ball, and I'm just going to put the hands, walk in, take my setup, and I've always stated that I want to feel like the hands, the left, my upper thumb, the left hand for me, is about somewhere around the chin to the nose. If I get inside of that, where it's in here, I'm standing too close to the ball, and I'll likely have my club coming back shut, which means if it comes shut, it goes outside, and then it might have a loop in it, in a swing, and shut goes to open, and I'll be hitting the ball to the right. Now, conversely, on the other side, if I'm reaching too much, very likely my toe will be up in the air, which is not good. The heel can bounce into the ground and affect impact. But now look where my thumb is. It's out here. All right? So I want to always walk in. I bend over at the waist. I drop my hands, and I walk into my setup. And again, that thumb should always be somewhere right about up to around my chin to my mouth. All right? That's the pitching wedge. Next, I have the 7-iron. So I walk into the ball, club down, take my setup. I feel like get into my posture, do the accordion effect, get into my posture, thumb straight up from underneath my chin. Ball still in the middle. All right, I'm going to explain that position, how things change with the ball position. 4-iron, my longest iron in the bag. I walk into the ball, go about everything the same way. I bend over at the waist, getting into my spine angle, drop the club behind the ball, take my setup, then get into my accordion effect down. Thumb is about the same place. All right. Now the ball's a little bit more forward. All right. I'm going to explain that in a second with the driver. Just hold on. The good stuff's coming. Now I'm going to get to the driver. The driver walks in. I walk in with the driver, and I walk into the ball, put the club down, bend over at the waist, club drops, feel like my hand's in the same place. In too close, in too reaching. I have extremely long arms. I am always fighting reaching too much. It's very easy for me to walk into a ball and just boom, put the arms out too far and get over here like this. And one of the things that's bad about reaching is that it feels strong. Your arms get stretched. It pulls and tightens up the muscles a little bit in your chest and your neck and your back and shoulders and your arms. And it feels strong and it feels good and it feels like you can kill a ball that way. But you're out of dynamic balance because your hands will be too far out and you'll be tending to fall forward. So in many cases you'll have to suck the club inside a little quicker to be able to get the club up, lift it in balance. Because if you're reaching and you try to lift, go vertical, you're going to fall forward. So the brain automatically kicks the balance system in to save you and starts pulling the club deeper. So, but here's the issue now. Let's look at it from the front view. All right, this is where I think Andrew got messed up a little bit. I'm going back to the wedge, and I'm going to keep this here with me just so I can take you all the way to the driver. When I take the wedge in the middle, the hands are underneath my chin. All right, now I'm going to go to the driver where I'm going to move the ball way forward. Now it's obvious at this position, at this point, the hands are not under my chin in terms of here. They're straight up, but if you look at it from the side view and come back this way, it's under a line off my chin. So I mean, that's what I'm saying. It's still basically equal to being under my chin if the hands were in the middle. So if you can imagine drawing a line across your chin here, out from your chin to your mouth or your nose, whichever that area is over here, to make sure your hands are hanging relatively straight down. As I go from a wedge, which I'll make this look like a wedge, and I go to a driver where the ball goes forward, my hands haven't changed as far as the verticalness of them to up towards my face. They've only changed in that they're out here now outside of my face, outside of my chin, but it's in line with my chin. I hope that explains it all. Because I mean, naturally we couldn't be hitting, if my driver was forward and I had my hands back here directly under my chin, my hands would be way back, and I'd be in a terribly unbalanced position to make a good golf swing. So I hope you understand that. My hands move up and down as my body moves from a wedge. This is about the length of a wedge in the middle to my driver. My hands stay basically the same place from this view. Here's the wedge in the middle, and then here's the driver up there. Notice what my hands are just going up and down. Even to the point if I were going to take a 7-iron and put the ball way back, a little bit more back in my stance to hit like a chip shot or whatever else, I'm still keeping those hands underneath my chin. My body will get over here in that case. We'll move forward. But it could be left of the chin, forward of the chin, but directly in line with that chin, straight up. Okay? Hopefully this answers that question about that, where the hand position is relative to hanging straight down from the chin to the nose, to be in proper arm hang where your arms are hanging straight down, so it gives you the optimum position where you can lift the club straight up in the air. So with that, when you're in that proper position, you can lift the club straight up into that vertical 3/4 swing and swing up to that nice dynamically balanced tee finish, so you can start hitting the ball more solid, straight, and do it much more consistently, swing after swing, and just nail it. Well, that's it for the search today, discussing on the hand position, how it moves forward and you know, from center to forward for the driver, but it's always somewhat in that point underneath the chin. That's it for today, and I'll be talking to you all again soon.